Can Square stock make you a ton of money? Is Square more likely to be a 10x company than Tesla? Should I dump Tesla and buy Square stock instead? I'll answer those questions and more for you right now. Welcome back, everyone. In this video, we will cover 3 reasons Square is a 10x company. And we will answer the question, should you dump Tesla stock for Square stock? And if you want to be part of this community, real people looking to gain real wealth together and have a little fun along the way, don't be so serious all the time about the shades or my busy hands that kind of have a mind of their own or my funny shaped head. Let's just have fun. So just go ahead and subscribe, hit that little notifications bell, and while you're down there, go ahead and hit the like button as well. Square won the poll for the stock you wanted me to cover next, and the video is finally here. Hey, it takes time to research and give you guys information on a stock. I refuse to be like other YouTubers and just watch a video about it or read an article or even just read a few headlines and then throw something together. So as always, when you deep dive a stock, things tend to just jump out at you. Sometimes those are red flags, other times those are signs of huge upside. In my research, I found 3 reasons why Square could be a 10x stock. And at the end, I'll tell you if I'm thinking about bailing on Tesla and jumping on Square and why. So let's jump in. First reason Square could be a 10x stock is Square's ecosystem concept. Square's ecosystem approach in both the consumer and business world is quite remarkable. I personally love this approach. When it's executed properly, it turns a product or a service into an unstoppable force. I kind of liken it to an Apple. You know, all Apple products basically integrate so seamlessly, in my opinion, of course. I don't use anything else. I've tried going Windows and Android and I just hated it. I understand why some of the techie people out there like it, but for me, it was just horrible. Personally, I need convenience, ease of use, and seamless integration. But think about that concept for a second, even if you don't agree with it, just go with me here. Think about that concept for a second and apply it to a small business like a coffee shop or a restaurant, and that is exactly what Square has done for small business. If you've ever started a business before, especially if it's customer facing, the sheer amount of upfront equipment and software is just massive. From ways to make payment, to point of sale systems, to payroll, to invoicing, customer tracking, and a whole bunch of other things. It's just huge, the amount of things you have to do. Then each one of those typically uses a different company, and most of those products don't integrate together. Yes, QuickBooks and some of those other programs like that help, and they can accept downloads and such, but you spend a huge amount of time inputting data and managing all those systems. Square's ecosystem shown here integrates all this together and provides the business owner with a one-stop shop for almost everything. Additionally, the costs are lower than getting each one of these systems individually. And of course, it all integrates, which is crucial and allows the business owner to spend more time growing the business and less time managing all that crap. So now you are giving the business owner 2 massive things they never have enough of: money and time. Also keep in mind they have Square Capital now too, where small businesses can get a quick approval on loans that they need, and they're planning more features to roll out under this entire ecosystem umbrella. Either way, keeping everything interconnected in the ecosystem not only allows the business owner to focus on growing the business, but it allows for the ability to add features and products in the future that all work together, not only within the business, but within the consumer market they have already set up for their customers. We'll discuss that ecosystem in just a second. Hang tight, we'll get there. But you see how these 2 ecosystems can actually just be part of one large ecosystem, making a complete ecosystem. I've said ecosystem way too many times, haven't I? Anyways, making a complete ecosystem free from outside shenanigans and influences, basically its own bubble. This gives customers and business owner a seamless integration to work together and have a great experience on both ends of the transaction. Now, I understand all this alone is not enough to 10x the stock, but you have to understand the foundation that we're building here for that case. But having small businesses use Square's ecosystem is what's going to provide the foundation for monster growth. There was also talk that my channel was going to be integrated into the ecosystem as well. So make sure you are subscribed so you get all those benefits. Oh yeah, and you get extra credit for liking the video. The second reason Square could be a 10x stock, Cash App is exploding. Cash App usage is exploding with the illness happening. But before we get too deep into that explosion, let's review what Cash App is for those that aren't familiar with it. Cash App has the following shown here. Cash Card, it's kind of like a debit card. They take direct deposit. Boost, which is basically things within the app that give you discounts on various things. You know, you go to various places and you get a discount on what you buy. Peer-to-peer cash transfers, fractional share investing, Bitcoin, which you can't do in Webull. Definitely click down in the description to get your 2 free stocks, but you can't do that in Webull. Hey, we are all looking to simplify our lives, correct? But Square is basically offering for you to be able to do all of your banking and investing in one app. Raise your hand if you'd like that. This guy? And that is the number one thing we look for in our lives, right? Simplification, make it easier, make it more convenient. But let's look at the numbers. The gross margin on Cash App is massive. I mean, stupid good. Like smash the like button good for the YouTube algorithm good. Last quarter, Cash App generated $528 million of total net revenue and $183 million of gross profit, which were increased 197% and 115% year over year for each one of those respectively. This is where you can see the exponential growth happening. But Cash App recently made a huge move by actively soliciting direct deposits. Banks know that we are very sticky to whoever our direct deposit goes to. Statistically, you are more apt to not leave and use the products they offer even if they suck just because your direct deposit goes there. And Square's move to go directly after direct deposits is paying immediate dividends. Cash App achieved its highest direct deposit volume during the month of April, Square wrote this month in its annual stockholders letter. A huge positive given the crisis at hand, showing it is set up to thrive in this kind of environment. I really thought they were going to struggle during all this, but it looks like they've found a way to thrive. Look, I got more for you showing it. Their direct deposit business has exploded during this crisis. Just look at this chart right here. You can see the explosion in growth last quarter. But then look at the growth models for May. These growth models were provided by Credit Suisse, who released research estimating at least 1.2 million Cash App users have set up direct deposit, and that's up from just 500,000 at the end of March. So that means they more than doubled the amount of direct deposits during a time in which the economy was completely shut down. And they're making other aggressive moves in the direct deposit space. They're offering to release funds early to you instead of having to wait until your post date, like most banks do, to release the funds to you. Now, for those of you that don't know, your company sends your payroll to the bank ahead of time. So let's say you get paid on the 15th of each month. They actually send your payroll to the bank on, the 12th, 13th, something like that, with a post date of the 15th. So on the 15th, your payroll posts to your account. So when Cash App receives your paycheck on the 12th, the 13th, whenever, it is just releasing it to you then, instead of waiting until the 15th to give it to you. Understand, it's a little more nuanced than that, since the reason for the hold is an accounting thing between your bank and the sending bank and the Fed. But releasing funds early adds some risk and reduces income potentially for Cash App, but it is a huge boost for you and obviously something that customers want and love. The numbers show it's clearly bringing in the converts over to Cash App. And Cash App knows if they can get your direct deposit, it will feed into the other products offered. And since the margins are so huge with Cash App, getting people tied in through direct deposit could create the kind of profits needed to 10x this stock. Need further proof Cash App is exploding? It ranks routinely in the top 20 downloads on iOS and Android when you include all categories, not just finance, I mean all of them, including the TikTok and all the other ridiculous things that are out there right now. And apparently you're supposed to do TikTok dances. I don't know. I hadn't figured out TikTok yet. Somebody help me out down in the comments. Does that say Snapchat? I don't know. But it's routinely been in the top 20 of downloads for some time. You see it right there, currently at number 8. And where is its nearest competitor, Venmo, you might ask? It's all the way down at number 17. Still impressive, but it's not top 10. And I get it, it's not downloaded as much as Facebook, but Facebook isn't a bank. My mom has Facebook, really? The third reason Square could be a 10x stock, they are uniquely positioned to explode post-illness. We are in uncharted territory here, and the illness is going to change the way normal life will be conducted, at least parts of it. And that applies to both sides, consumers and businesses. And if we have another crash or downturn again, I believe it will shift the long-term outlook even more in the favor of Square. If you haven't seen my video on the coming market crash I see forming, I'll put it on the screen at the end so you don't have to hunt for it. But make sure you get that information so you know what to look for and why. In regards to the business side of Square's business, I think there's a massive opportunity that is brewing right now. I think small business is in for a great reset like we have never seen before. Not going to debate politics here, I do not do it, so please don't do it down in the comments. But the government bailed out big businesses through a multitude of programs and investments and a bunch of other cash infusions. And any attempt to get money to the small businesses, like the PPP loans and a lot of other great programs like that, were also gobbled up disproportionately by large companies through various loopholes and legalities and a bunch of other stuff. Understand some small businesses received the money and it's really helped. Some small businesses received the money, they didn't even need it. But I don't think the programs are going to save a good portion of the small businesses. There's going to be a lot that go down, unfortunately. Now, I'm not blaming one side or the other, but just laying out the reality of the new environment for small businesses. Many of them will not make it. Sorry, I want them to, I really do. But a good portion just aren't going to make it through. However, it's not like people are going to stop starting small businesses. And many businesses that started 5 years ago when Square was basically unknown to most people will be looking to restart, reboot, or find ways to cut costs and become more profitable and efficient and really just make their lives easier in this post-illness world. And that is the opportunity for Square to leverage its ecosystem to move the struggling business forward, help them gain efficiencies, or for a new business to get a jump start as we come out of this. And Square even has a massive opportunity with some of the businesses that died. Hey, some will come back and be rid of legacy contracts and systems because they did die in the first place. So now they can jump on board with Square's ecosystem that was not available to them when they started their business and, signed all those contracts and bought all that big bulky equipment and all those things that would prevent them from jumping over and using Square's product. Throw in Square Capital providing quick loans to those businesses provides the other vital piece needed to start a business, which is capital or an influx of cash. But looking at the consumer, the opportunity is even bigger. How many people are going to hesitate to use cash in the future? How has our lives changed since the illness started in regards to payment? I know I don't want to touch the keypad at the checkout line, so people are looking into the touchless ways of transferring money. And Cash App is the most downloaded cash app out there today. Before all the illness stuff, this was really something younger people did and older people just didn't give it a thought. I don't think I thought about it all that much before all this illness stuff broke out. I never used cash, but the rare times I did, I would just go pull it out of an ATM. Now I really don't want to do that, and doing it through Cash App makes a lot more sense. I think as more people look into it, Cash App is going to be the most appealing alternative to cash. So let me ask you another question. How many people have gotten into stock trading in the past 3 or 4 months? Same with crypto. How many people are out there trading crypto right now that weren't into it 3 months ago, 6 months ago? And Cash App accommodates both right out of the gate. In the end, I just feel consumer behaviors have changed and have accelerated due to the illness. And Square has positioned itself to be the most feature-rich choice out of all the cash apps out there. So should you dump your Tesla stock and buy Square stock instead? Before I answer that question and forget, let me know down in the comments section if you like the format. It was tough to create a good way of presenting the information on Square, but still make it relevant to everyone who watches the channel for my Tesla stock material. Hopefully I was able to stay true to both. But give me feedback down in the comments so I can use it to get better when I do my next stock you guys want me to cover. SPCE, Virgin Galactic. It's not news that Jack Dorsey is an admirer of Tesla, and you see a lot of Tesla-isms sprinkled throughout this company. And you see how they have attacked the industry with a similar approach, dominate it all, and create an ecosystem of synergistic products to keep everyone in. Square is a disruptive company that is turning a massive legacy industry upside down. Exactly like Tesla is doing. And we are just at the beginning of that revolution, so you are getting in early before it becomes the next Tesla. Having said that, I still feel another correction may be coming. And that actually may be the best time to put more money into both Tesla and Square. So I believe Square is more likely to be a 10x company than Tesla given its current values. Look, Square only has to reach $800 a share to 10x. Tesla has to get to $8,000 per share in order to 10x. So now is the time to dump your Tesla stock to buy Square, right? Wrong. I will be using part of my cash position to take out a stake in Square. And I may sell a few shares of Tesla to buy some Square stock as well. But Tesla is such a dynamic company, I personally do not want to be completely out of the stock, even if I think it's going to go down, whatever the case is, I don't want to be out of it. But so many people right now are trying to go all in on whatever their favorite stock is. This is not an either or choice. You can own multiple stocks, or you can choose to go all in on one company. That's a personal decision that you need to make. From a pure 10x standpoint, Square is the better play in my opinion. But Tesla is going to be a beast that will make a ton of money in the future, in my opinion as well. So I will just own both. So click this video right here for the information you need about the coming market crash. Thanks.